And I know
Yeah.
you're talking a little bit about like developing healthier coping tools, and I see all of the time in my own Sinclair Method journey as well as with others that learning new coping tools can be one of the hardest parts of the Sinclair Method. Even if someone's doing well,
Yeah.
the medication is working, they don't have a desire to drink as much, they're still kind of reaching to alcohol as a coping tool. So I'm curious, do you see that in your practice, and how do you kind of help people to develop healthier coping tools outside of just alcohol?
Yeah. I mean, it's such a good point. And, I really feel like in an ideal world, like people would be doing the Sinclair method with a therapist at and doing the journey, with a therapist that can help them with those coping tools from day one. Because I feel like that's the biggest yeah, it is. It's the biggest reason why I will get clients refer to me that have tried the Sinclair method and feel like they have not been successful is because they're getting triggered around something or they're having high activation and they don't have the tools. And so eventually they overdrink, they try to drink through naltrexone, or they just don't take the pill and they want because they want the calming effects of alcohol, right? So if there's any of your listeners who feel like they may fall into that category of, why am I choosing not to be compliant? My words of kind of encouragement is really get some extra support, because once you have those tools, it does make it so much easier when you feel triggered to not reach for more alcohol. Um, and it's kind of a process, I should say, as every therapist says about everything. But it is, first we kind of look at what the coping tool somebody has. We look at what those are. Then we evaluate their effectiveness. And then I have literally books and books and workbooks about of hundreds of different coping tools. But I match the coping tool with what their specific challenge or trigger is. And the thing about coping tools is, sometimes people just find some are more effective than others. And there's just kind of no rhyme or reason to that. But at least in working together with some support, you can narrow that down to, hey, this is the handful of coping tools that I think will be effective. Let's start using them. Let's reevaluate their effectiveness. That's something that I do at every session is we start with how did it go over the last week or two with, where did you feel triggered? What coping skill did you use and how did that work? And then we tweak it and we reevaluate if it worked, if it didn't work, if we need to change something. So it is a process, and it's also we're developing habits, we're rewiring the brain. All of that takes time. Like coping skills are not immediate. It's not the first time you use it it's like, oh, it's a miracle and it takes everything away. No, they're cumulative, meaning it's repetition, and it's over time, the more you use it the more effective it becomes.